Bob Odenkirk is back, and so is Hutch Mansell. Now, if you saw the first Nobody film, then you already know this ain't your average dad flick. This is the story of a man with just enough rage under the surface to light a whole city block on fire. And when Hutch snapped, oh, he snapped hard. After racking up a cult following, jaw-dropping box office numbers during a pandemic, and praise from action junkies worldwide, Nobody is finally stepping back into the ring. So buckle up, we're giving you the first look at Nobody 2. How it was greenlit, who's coming back, and why this next round of violence is going to be even more brutal, more personal, and more insane than ever. Let's rewind the tape. Back in 2021, Nobody hit theaters like a left hook from someone you didn't even know could fight. And that someone? Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, better call Saul Bob. The same guy who used to make you laugh in Mr. Show suddenly flipped into full-blown action mode, and the wildest part, it worked. The casting was unexpected. Odenkirk isn't ripped like The Rock or brooding like Keanu, but that's exactly what made it so good. He looked like us, like the guy behind you at Starbucks, until, of course, he was breaking someone's arm with a coffee mug and strangling mobsters with curtain wire. The action? Clean. Brutal. Grounded. Thanks to 87 North, the team behind John Wick, the choreography had no fluff, no filler. Every punch hurt. Every gunshot felt real. This wasn't superhero stuff. This was desperation dressed in sweat, blood, and silence. It was darkly funny too. The kind of humor that doesn't break the tension, it deepens it. The kind where Hutch deadpans a threat while dragging a corpse through a hallway. Classic. And somehow, during a pandemic no less, Nobody made over $57 million off a $16 million budget. That's not just success, that's a sleeper hit. But the real explosion happened at home. Once it hit streaming, Nobody became a repeat watch goldmine. Word of mouth turned it into a cult sensation. Suddenly, Reddit threads were lit up. Action fans were calling it the next Taken. Others said it was John Wick's scrappy younger cousin. Only this time, the hitman isn't trying to get his dog back. He just wants some peace, a damn good tuna can, and a little respect. So how did we get here? How did a mid-budget revenge flick evolve into one of the most anticipated sequels of the decade? The fans. That's how Universal and 87 North saw the demand almost instantly. Memes, rewatches, Twitter threads, fan theories, everyone wanted to know more about Hutch's past. Who were the three? What exactly did he do in his off-the-books days? And why does RZA show up like a shotgun-wielding guardian angel? Bob Odenkirk, for his part, wasn't just a passenger on this ride. He trained for it. For a full year before the first film. And when talks of a sequel began, he was the first one in the room, ready to bleed all over again. By mid-2022, development was locked in. A script followed in 2023, and by August 2024, the cameras were rolling again. And here's a quote from Odenkirk that sets the tone: "We didn't want to just go bigger, we wanted to go deeper." That's the mantra behind Nobody 2. It's not about throwing more bodies on screen. It's about sharpening the emotional blade behind every move Hutch makes. So, who's steering the chaos this time? Meet Timo Tjahjanto. If that name sounds familiar, it should. He's the Indonesian director behind The Night Comes for Us, a film so savage it made seasoned action fans wince. His style? Fast, feral, and relentless. Exactly what Hutch needs. But don't worry, Derek Kolstad is still on the writing team. The man who created John Wick is once again pulling the strings. Expect a lean script, tight dialogue, and layers beneath the bloodshed. Then there's David Leitch, former stuntman turned producer, who's made a habit of redefining action with films like Atomic Blonde, Bullet Train, and of course, the John Wick series. His fingerprints are all over the DNA of this franchise. Now, let's talk cast. Bob Odenkirk returns as Hutch, obviously. RZA is back, and yes, that means more shotgun duo scenes are coming. Christopher Lloyd also returns as Hutch's dad, maybe with more grenades this time. And here's where it gets juicy. New cast members include John Ortiz as a corrupt theme park operator and Sharon Stone as an unhinged, bloodthirsty crime boss who makes Hutch her next target. The word is, the new antagonist isn't just a threat. He's personal. This isn't just a job, it's unfinished business. Meanwhile, Odenkirk's been training harder than ever. Not just to survive the stunts, but to elevate them. This isn't about looking cool, it's about looking real. And if you've seen his bruised knuckles from rehearsals, you know he's not faking it. So, what's the story this time? Details are tight-lipped, but here's what's been confirmed. The sequel dives deeper into Hutch's mysterious past, specifically his ties with that shadowy trio known only as the Three, the ones who trained him, the ones who turned him into the silent storm we met in the first movie. This time, we go global. Production has been confirmed in Winnipeg, Canada, hinting at new, grittier visuals that are dirtier and more lived in. But it's not all just international espionage. The theme? Consequences. Hutch didn't walk away clean. And now, his past is catching up. There's also strong indication that Hutch's family will be actively involved in the action this time around. We're talking full-on nobody family team-up. Picture this, a perilous family vacation where his wife and kids aren't just running, they're fighting. Maybe Hutch isn't the only one with a secret past. And if that's true, we're about to see legacy-level violence. Now, let's talk about what everyone came for, the action. If Nobody felt like a surprise street brawl that left you rattled, then Nobody 2 is shaping up to be a full-on war in a junkyard with nothing but makeshift weapons and pent-up fury. Bob Odenkirk said it himself. The fights in this one are more raw, more desperate. They hurt in a different way. That's not just promo talk. We've seen glimpses of behind-the-scenes training footage, and it's clear they're not dialing things up Hollywood-style with flashy flips or Marvel-style CGI blasts. Nope, this is pain. This is bruises. This is elbows to the throat, rebar through the ribs, and a lot of close-quarters chaos. And that's the signature of 87 North. These guys aren't about speed ramping or green screen gymnastics. They're about realism. Choreography built on exhaustion. Scenes that unfold like they were captured on security cams. Every fight in Nobody felt like it had stakes. Now, the stakes have spikes. There's heavy emphasis on long takes again. Fewer cuts, more continuous motion. Think of that iconic bus scene from the first film? Now imagine it inside a warehouse. One camera, one take. Hutch surrounded. Nowhere to go. Yep, rumor has it the centerpiece of Nobody 2 is a one-take warehouse fight. Real location, real stunts. No cheats, just Bob Odenkirk earning every ounce of your respect with nothing but grit and bruised knuckles. And yes, DIY weapons are back. We're talking kettlebells, broken pipes, meat tenderizers, and at one point, a freaking soldering iron. This isn't about guns blazing, it's about survival. So if you thought the bus handle beatdown in part 1 was brutal, buckle in, that was child's play compared to what's coming. But with all this hype comes pressure. A lot of it. The fans, they've evolved. The same audience that turned Nobody into a cult hit doesn't just want more explosions. They want meaning, violence with a backbone, action scenes that reveal character, not just fill time. That's where Nobody 2 is aiming high. In a post-John Wick 4 world, the bar for action storytelling has been raised sky high. Every sequel has to say something new. And based on interviews with Derek Kolstad, this isn't just Hutch kills more bad guys. This is Hutch confronting what made him that way in the first place. You'll still get the punch-outs and blood splatter, sure, but wrapped in something deeper. Something like, what does a man do when he can no longer justify the things he was trained to do? As for the release, the current target is August 15th, 2025. And the marketing is already heating up. Reddit AMA hints, Odenkirk's cryptic tweets, and teaser drops from 87 North. The buzz is organic, and that's the key. This franchise wasn't born from a franchise plan. It was born from people falling in love with something they weren't supposed to love this much. So, what do you want to see in Nobody 2? A Hutch origin flashback? A full-blown family fight sequence? A showdown with someone even deadlier than him? Drop your theories in the comments. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Until next time, stay low, stay lethal, and maybe keep a fire extinguisher under your kitchen counter. You never know who's watching.